Hello everybody, welcome to this week's Dissecting Design. We are taking a look back at Reccetear, an item shop's tale. This is the game that was kind of ground zero for what would become the item shop simulator genre. Something that should not have worked, could not have worked, but it did, giving a lot of people such as myself a new genre to love that we didn't even know existed. And what's very interesting is how things have really, straddled the line between being overly complicated or being too simple. But nevertheless, Reccetear kind of came on the scene and has become the poster child for the genre. We're going to talk about what it did right and kind of where things have kind of gone in the years since Reccetear came over to the United States, especially with some of the other item shop genres. Item shop, is that the right title for the genre? Item shop simulator? Whatever, right? But we're going to take a look at where this game falls on the line and where other games have gone since. But let's jump in and take a look at our item shop. Alright, here we are in the game. And as you can see, we have our own little shop. The story is we owe a whole lot of money. And unless we keep our payments coming, we're going to be in deep financial trouble. So the best thing to do, since this is a JRPG world, start an item shop and let people come in and buy. So this is, again, very early in the game. But the idea is we're going to fill things up. And now we need to actually start selling. Oh wait, almost forgot about our precious bread. That little fairy here is our advisor slash tax collector, I guess. And of course, while you won't see things, of course this game also gave us the meme of capitalism ho. So the idea is that people will come into the shop. Yeah, we know this already. Yeah. And we need to convince them to buy these items. So we are free to dictate how much to sell to this person. Obviously, going below base price will make them happier, but it will actually, it makes it a lot harder, obviously, to get money. You can see stuff like that. So I'm just going to go a little bit above base value. Nothing too bad. Let's see if they like it. Now, if you looked at the bottom left, you saw we gain experience, as well as a just bonus. That refers to not for giving a fair price on the item. Yeah. Skip through that. Starting to skip through the story, just because it will extend things. Oh my goodness. Enough with the story. There we go. Let's get into it. So as I was saying, as the merchant level goes up, that will impact our ability to get new events and to upgrade our shop. Again, you can see we don't own anything right now. And we can perform different actions, including talking to people, learning more about what's going on, and then returning to the shop. And because we didn't do anything, we can just return and time won't go past. If you look in the upper left-hand corner, there is a day-night cycle. Going to a place and then returning will move time up 1 tick. Going here will take 2 ticks of our time. When we've gone through all 4 sections, the day ends, and we go to the next day. Now, one of the interesting things about Reccetear and what became known for the item shop genre, some of the better examples, is being able to control what's in the shop. As in setting up different counters, different things to attract people, and even changing the entire look and theme. Now, Reccetear kind of went a little too far there in my opinion, but we'll talk about that in a later section of this video. But While selling items is all well and good, and we'll show that off again later, a big part of this game, and what also became synonymous with the item shop genre, is getting the items. So, we're going to be going to a dungeon next, and showing off the other half of Reccetear and the item shop genre's game design. We are about to go into our first dungeon in Reccetear, and this is one of the things that really helped to bring the popularity of the item shop genre. How it works is you'll gain different adventurers as the game goes on, some costing you money to hire, others are free. And we're going to level them up and allow them to grow while getting us items that we can then sell. Now, an interesting part of Reccetear is that the adventurers will visit your shop, and you can actually sell them gear that they can then permanently equip. But of course, you have to decide, do I want to give my adventurer this really expensive item, or do I want money, or do I want to level them up or make them better? So we don't have any items to start with, so let's just go in. So here we are. Again, I'm going to skip the... Now we don't have any items to equip. And here we are in the dungeon. So, the object, of course, is to level up, gain loot, and of course not get killed in the process. Now, for this game, it is kept on the basic side. We're not going to be seeing anything super complicated, but again, for a game like this, it's really about the combination of the designs and the genre. Or I say, a combination of the genres. That's better. So we got loot. And the dungeons, I believe, are randomly generated. Now again, this game came out in the United States, I think in 2010, but it was a part of Japan, or out of Japan, for longer than that. God, give me loot. Now you can see, picking up the gems leveled up our friend Louie here. Oh, and here comes some traps. God. Every time we fill up that bar on the bottom left, he levels up. Now, advanced play in Reccetear we'll talk about later, involving what we can do more with these items and things that we find. But for right now, let's just go through our little dungeon. Now, if we wanted to, we can, of course, equip items. Again, you can see the base price. Now, we don't want Louie to run out of health, or we will be evicted from the dungeon. Our goal is to reach the exit, which is going to be somewhere in this place. You can notice that enemies have respawned behind us. There's the floor. And of course, we will unlock more dungeons as time goes on, including boss fights, which is something that we really don't see a lot from the item shop genre. Let's get out of there. And again, one of the things that made Reccetear stand out, and still to this day. Now our friend Rec over there doesn't really do much, or Tier. But they're here for moral support, right? And isn't that most important in a dungeon? Now again, because it is randomly generated, I don't know where the exit will locate. There it is right there. But we can of course pop in, see there's any treasure, and then get out. Like that. Now I believe we should be fighting a boss. I think it's every 5 or 10 floors. Oh, ow. How dare you hit me? As you can see, the enemies are getting a little bit harder. Now, your range is somewhat limited at the start, especially with how short it is. That's just something we'll have to deal with. You should be almost ready to level up. And of course, there are far more enemies than what we're going to see here. Oh no, danger! Die. There we go, level up again. Some kind of a trap. Now, time is not moving forward right now. We can spend as much time in this dungeon as we can survive. Now, when we get to the boss, or the boss floor, that'll be our decision point as to whether or not to leave, or keep pushing. Completing the quests or the story part of Reccetear will involve clearing out the dungeons. So I think this should be the last floor. And of course, enemies can also give you elemental effects, poison, slow, you know, everything that is typical of a JRPG world. But as we're going through this, again, the combination of this multi-system design really works well to give Reccetear a unique flavor in terms of its gameplay. Apple. We're not just running an item shop and we're not just going on battles, it's the interplay between the two that make this game stand out. Now, once we get to the end of this area, we should be fighting a boss. Can we do anything else? No, we're at full. And this is one of the elements I think a lot of the other item shop style games have kind of missed. Some have gone with a very basic, to the point of being simplistic combat system. Others have done nothing with this. But let's head out of here. Now, we are limited in space in terms of what we have. Let me see, does it actually tell us? There, so we can hold 20 items. And again, part of the challenge is taking items that will benefit the adventurer while still leaving you the room to grab all the really great stuff. Get away from me. Yay, loot. We all love loot, right? And again, you can see what these items will do. And of course, getting something that's high value is very important, because it means we can sell it for big bucks. Now, this is going to be our battle, I believe. Or it may just, because this is the first time, it may just skip it. Let's see. Oh, so this gets him into the Adventurers Guild. So now we can leave. If this was a normal dungeon, we would have to choose between either leaving or continuing to go up even further. So there's all the items we got. And we made it through. Now, of course, we can visit more people. Buy items here. Now, of course, we can sell items in the marketplace like this, but that doesn't go towards our merchant level. Eventually, people will start showing up there. Now, as you can see, time is running out. Let's see. She'll give us some... Oh, yes. If you look right there, it shows us the store atmosphere. And in fact, we will talk about that in the next part and do some more selling. So, see you all in a second. So, we are back. I have loaded things up here for our shop. And it is time to do some selling. And sorry about the resolution, this is an older game as well. So, here we are, the shop is fully stocked, and we are ready to do it. Now, the other aspect of this game, and let me pull this up back here, is the store atmosphere. This is based on how things look, and will determine what kind of clientele you will get. As I said a few minutes ago, one of the, I think, complaints I have about Reccetear is that to advance the story and unlock the higher tier dungeons, you have to do some very esoteric things, including setting the store atmosphere to specific points, as well as opening up at the correct time. But let's set things up here, and let's run our store. A few years ago, I came up with like a little comedy routine that was like pawn Pawn Stars meets Reccetear, which we won't be doing anymore here, obviously. But let's run our shop. Well, I can't talk anymore, and see who comes in. Alright, so he wants this item. Now again, we can set this at however the hell we want. Hey boy, would you like to spend $5,000 for a worn sword? Now of course, we don't want to do that. So I'm just gonna go, let's go there. That should be enough. Now the combo is very important, because as long as you keep people happy and they're interested, you'll gain a combo multiplier that will enhance your merchant level. This is the main way to get quick progression in the game, and can kind of break things if you know what you're doing. So he wants this item. Now it's not going to be an upgrade for him, sadly. So I'm just going to go for this. Now you saw it's a near pin. That meant we were really close to what that person expected for that value. As you can see, we made money, and that's good. I love that little sprite for a Reccetear. I'm not even sure I just butchered that. Yeah, no, she's gonna do it. Yeah, so this is just telling us about the goal here. Now, if we come over here, trying to see if it tells us what the... Okay. It's been a while since I played this. Okay, so there are his controls. Now, as that merchant level goes up, it will make things better for us. So I'm going to move this to our showcase here. Now you can see we've earned some money. So let's see if we can get some people in here. Again, I would like Louie to buy some armor. There we go. So if you look up there, this is how things work. When you have him buy an item that's going to change things, you'll see the stat change up there. So if he buys this item, it will alter his stats. And it will be an item that I don't need to take with me to then give to him. So I have a choice. I can sell this to him, which it will lower his base defense but will raise his magic. Or I can make it so high up that he would never think about buying it. But for the sake of this, I'm going to do it. So now he will wear that item when we go back to the dungeon next. Now that's only for your adventurers. Like, I'm not going to give this old guy a sword and he's going to start fighting for us. Now again, I can set this higher, but the problem is he may buy it, but it won't advance my merchant level as well. There we go, we leveled up. So just for the hell of it, I'm going to put this even higher, and we'll see what happens. Now you saw we got a just combo, but it wasn't near pin. And near pin, again, is when you do it to a more acceptable level. Now she's going to probably tell us what the merchant level did. And yeah, we'll have people coming who will want to sell us items, which we can then put in our store or give to other people. Yeah, we can haggle. Yay, haggling. But the reason you want to level up the merchant level is that it will unlock advanced features as well as allow you to get more customers into your shop. There, I need to take a drink out of this next part to see why my mouth can't seem to say the word shop anymore. But that is kind of one of the issues with Reccetear that we will talk about probably not the next section, but the one after that. I want to do one more in the dungeon to show off an actual dungeon run, and then we'll talk about the issues with Reccetear, and then wrap up with talking about kind of the state of the item shop genre. But that will be up next. Welcome back. So this is we're going to go on an actual dungeon now. And obviously in a game like this, we'll start with the lower ones, and more will unlock as we complete dungeons and advance the story. As you can see, this dungeon, we're going to be going through floors 1 through 5. As we hit different thresholds, we will unlock checkpoints so that we can immediately advance to, let's say, floor 5 through 10, or 15 to 25, or anything like that. But to do so, we will probably fight a boss. But here we are. It is time for some dungeoning. How many items in our bag? And that is an evil mushroom. Now, as you can see, Louie's level does persist. And if we come over here and check out his status, he's wearing the armor that we got him. Now, ideally, we want our adventurers to buy weapons. That way, they will have it, and it will make it easier for them to fight. It looks like some kind of evil cow person? What is this, food? Oh, chestnut. And one thing we won't be able to show, at least in this video, is that you can also combine items and create new ones using specific ingredients. And of course, these items will be of both higher value and higher quality if you want to give them to an adventurer. Ah, evil bee, get away from me. And of course, you saw that insect trap had a +3, because items can also come in different variants as well. Now, when it comes to the dungeon crawling, you do have to balance exploring with actually making progress. So you don't want to spend too long on each floor, but you do want to at least find items that you can then take back and, of course, sell. Another pendant. Oh, there's that damn bee again. And again, the basic combat, or the basic elements of the combat system, are going to be on the simplistic side. This isn't a full-blown roguelike or full-blown JRPG. But again, it doesn't have to be, because it's the integration of this with the shop mechanics that help to elevate the game. Ah, you stole my health. How dare you. If we had food with us, we can use that to help restore our health. Get back here, you evil bunny rabbit. Alright, the exit should be right here. We have... Oh. And then you sometimes get random events like that. There we go. I can't adjust the camera in the dungeon, so you can run into situations where it does get blocked. Uh-oh. I don't know why it's deadly fish that are trying to kill us, but what the heck. Oh. Get away from me, you. Alright, let's get out of here. And then one more floor, and then we will have the boss. Now, the boss areas are fixed. We will fight the same boss each time. Oh, not bad. So let me pop over here. Again, it doesn't really do all that much. It does raise our magic defense. Damn you bunny rabbits. You go away. There's also Spellcaster and an Archer Adventure, along with a few other types. Music's all nice and peaceful, isn't it? So this is our first boss. And the bosses again are fixed. Each one requiring different strategies and having different rules in terms of their combat. Now, he's getting smaller. There you go. Now he's at the height that we can actually fight him. Ow! And no, there's no dodge roll here like in Dark Souls. Okay, we got some candy. Again, it's a little bit tough to gauge the perspective sometimes, but that's just a limitation of the camera. Oh. I better heal just to be on the safe side. Do we have anything that can heal me? Oh. Come on, buddy. Gotta watch that hurt box of his. And they're just staying there providing emotional support. But normally I would take food in as a means of healing, and sometimes you may find it in the dungeon. So we made it through. They're all going to go to sleep now. And we are good. So again, we can take all of our hard-fought loot and try and sell it for big bucks. Obviously, the more diverse our options are, the easier it will be to try and sell it. And again, you can see the base price in the bottom left. Now, you look at the menu, we need 10,000 in 4 days. So we better start making some money, right? Each time we open up the shop, it will advance time 1 tick. And normally, if you go on an adventure, you can do an adventure and open the shop in 1 day. You normally can't do more than that, depending upon the events. But, again, one of the more important aspects is going to be to raise that merchant level as high as we can. But, with that said, we're going to move on to our next section here, and we'll begin to wrap things up. I want to talk about Reccetear's, some of the issues with the game, and that will be up next. Alright, welcome back. So, while I'm running the shop here, we'll talk a little bit more about some of the limitations of Reccetear. One of the big ones is that from a simulator point of view, it's not really all that advanced. In fact, as long as you stay within about 100 to 105% base price, you are usually good. Get that just bonus, get the combo, and again, keep raising the merchant level. This does limit you in terms of, I'm not sure why she wants to buy a helmet, and this does limit you in terms of advanced play. Like, it would have been interesting to have characters with different wants and needs, or being able to affect item value in different ways. Again, there's a near pin, just bonus. Alright. So again, we'll just make it like 104. There's our combos again. And we just keep going. Probably want to make it even lower than that. So again, we'll keep going here. Now when it comes to the combat side of things, like I said, combat is on the basic side for these kinds of RPGs. And due to the perspective, it does make it hard sometimes to gauge where enemies are. Now, another issue with Reccetear that has been talked about is the difficulty. If you're not able to make those payments, the game ends. Doesn't matter how well you're doing, the game will just decide that you've lost. Oh, Let's see. Will he actually agree to it? Let's see. Good. Keep that combo going. Now you can also sell items for a little bit less, and that's what I'm going to show you right now. And you'll see what happens. They'll start to get even happier. And that's kind of one of the issues that Reccetear has from a simulator point of view, is that instead of trying to read the person and read the value of the item, it becomes very gamey in terms of just saying it within that certain threshold to keep your merchant level going. So this time I'll set it to like 102. And again, just keeping that combo going. And because if you don't do it, you're going to get punished in terms of not being able to get access to better gear and unlocking more of the story beats. So let's see. Again, keep that just combo going. And that's the other reason why you want more people to come in. Because the more people who visit, the more of a just combo you can build up, which means that you'll be able to do more in terms of raising that merchant level up. But it's still on the simplistic side, even though this is still considered one of the best examples of the item shop genre. And like I said, the only real complaint that I have is how gamey it can be in terms of unlocking and making progress. Especially with the later stuff. I remember you had to do a very unusual chain of events and setting your shop right just to unlock the final set of dungeons. And again, the reason you want to unlock these dungeons is that it makes the game harder, but it gives you higher quality items, which you can then take back and sell and make it easier on yourself to make those deadlines. Now with that said, let's head back to the menu for my final thoughts, and we'll kind of talk about what the state of the item shop genre is. Talk to you all in a second. Okay, here we are at the main menu for my final thoughts. Like I said at the start, no one really expected the item shop genre to be anywhere as interesting as it was with Reccetear. And it has certainly left an impact, especially among indie developers, as we've seen quite a few of these games come from the independent space, including stuff like, I think, Holy Potatoes, a weapon shop fantasy, and a few others. But the problem is that despite Reccetear kind of being the poster child for the item shop genre, the other games have not managed to hit that same level of a streamlined approach with the complexity of a multi-system design. And we've seen games either go too far on the simplistic end and it feels more like an idle or a clicker game. There's actually an idle game that's about running a RPG shop, which wasn't that bad. Or with something like Weapon Shop Fantasy, the item shop side of things became very cumbersome in terms of trying to figure out what to sell and being able to augment items, but the whole combat side was relegated to just watching a guy walk across the screen. And for those of you watching this right now, are there better examples of the item shop genre than Reccetear? And when I say better, I mean having a more involved simulator for the item shop while either keeping or passing it in terms of a combat side of things. Because again, that's where a lot of developers seem to mess up on. And the point about what made Reccetear work is again the multi-system design of running the shop and then taking those items and then going into combat. Oh. And we don't need to see the cutscene here. Sorry about that, folks. But nevertheless, Reccetear still stands, again, as the premier example of the genre, and I would love to see more developers try this, especially in terms of the multi-system design. And if you're a developer who's working on an item shop game that you would like me to take a look at, definitely get in touch, because I love this genre, and I would like to see more of it. And maybe someday we'll have a game that can knock Reccetear off its throne. So, Game Wisdom Ho, we are going to wrap things up for today. Thank you so much for watching this week's Dissecting Design. If you have a suggestion for a game you would like me to dissect in the future, let me know in the comments below. And let me know what you think of this video. If you're new, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and check back for daily discussions on game design here and on GameWisdom.com, where we examine the art and science of games, and look for future dissections on Mondays. But until next time, have a great night. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and come back around 10 Eastern for regular streaming. For a collection of my writings as well as weekly podcasts on game development, be sure to check out game-wisdom.com. Follow me on Twitter at GWBicer for updates throughout the day. And to help support everything that I do, you can find me on Patreon under GWBicer or Game Wisdom. Your donations can help to keep things running, and when we hit some goals, it will mean more content for everyone to enjoy. So, thanks again for watching, and be sure to come back for daily discussions on game design on the Game Wisdom channel.